Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in today. Today's episode of the Topping Show is proudly sponsored by Topping Technologies. Topping Technologies is an IT value-added reseller and services company with a special proficiency in IT security. Heck, I see their founder at least twice a day. He's quite handsome and brilliant. He's me, see, that's the joke. If you're an IT leader or business owner, you can reach out to the team at sales@toppingtechnologies.com. Also, still giving away a free flamethrower with every IT purchase with a fun Picatinny rail adapter so you can mount it to any standard AR-15 like all awesome accessories can be. Go to toppingtechnologies.com and click the flamethrower button to learn more and see me shoot a flamethrower. Lastly, trying to get to 5,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so if you can click that button and tell your friends, I would greatly appreciate it. Now going over to the business part of the podcast, you have Tesla having their largest sales drop ever. It is not looking good over there. Now again, I should have a little caveat, not financial advice. Hindsight is always 20/20 when it comes to investing, and I thought it'd be interesting to look at their stock, which actually has gone up past couple of days, but year to date is quite rough and worse than the industry S&P 500, which also has been dropping precipitously past couple of months. Now, just looking at them, looks like year to date they're down at 29.98%, currently trading for $280.76 per share, and even more disappointing, 0% dividend yield because they don't pay dividends like most tech companies, which is a little disappointment. But yeah, when it comes to most auto sales, theirs are down, but their stock is doing worse than the competition. And yeah, there's a lot of heat on the Teslas because people have the Elon derangement syndrome and are defacing vehicles left and right. Well, by leftist. Now, the article actually comes to us thanks to CNN Business, which somehow, statistically speaking, is still in business. I'm quite shocked, actually. They probably have about 15 employees left, about 3 competent ones. Now, this specifically is credited to Chris, who's a writer there. Chris specifically, Sealador from Lord of the Rings. He's been busy. Talk about diversifying your skill set. Not only can you fight dragons, wizards, and dwarves, with, I know they're on the same team, but you also write at CNN. Now, that is a pretty unique resume. I'll give him that much. Now, he says, quote, Tesla sales plunge, biggest decline in history. And here you can see what I think looks cool, the Tesla Cybertruck, though. You know me, if I were to buy that, I would have to do a whole powertrain swap to give it a good third pedal, also known as a manual transmission. So basically, if I won the lottery and I wanted to do something hilariously stupid, but I would love to take a Tesla Cybertruck, take that body, and put it on a Toyota Tacoma so you get the reliability of the Toyota, a third pedal, and you get the cool styling of the Cybertruck, and upside that it's also bullet resistant, so it gets you drive to places like Chicago and San Francisco and Detroit. Not that you would want to. Now, you also have all the other vehicles pictured in there as well. And he says, quote, Tesla sales, oh, geez Louise. One of the few times in my life where I actually say I'm glad I did not buy Tesla stock. Tesla sales has plunged 13% in the first 3 months of this year, the largest drop in deliveries in its history. As backlash against Elon Musk, their current CEO, and growing competition took a large bite out of the demand for their EVs. Tesla reported it delivered 336,681 cars this quarter, 50,000 fewer vehicles compared to the first 3 months of last year. The results for the company's worst sales day in nearly 3 years. Also know that Tesla faced protests by radical leftists. Well, I added that last part. Outside of showrooms for those opposed to the actions of Elon Musk in one of his other roles as the head of Department of Government Efficiency, which also shows how radical and stupid people are. Your anger that Elon Musk is showing how woefully inept and bad at spending the U.S. government is and corrupt. Why? One would think it would unite all Americans. Say, hey, let's make sure our government's using our money wisely. And yet, it's become a political thing, very polarizing, and people on the left are radically upset. So much so that they're using incendiary devices. And thankfully, this time justice is actually existing, unlike during the BLM riots, where they can face up to 20 years in prison for terrorism activities because, again, you're using terror to get your message across. And quite literally, explosives, Molotov cocktails, and other implements. Now, they also note that there have been some instances of vandalism against Tesla facilities, including charging stations and cars. All these incidents may have encouraged potential buyers from pulling the trigger on their Tesla purchase. They say that Tesla did not mention the protests against the company in its sales statement. It did, however, point to the update of the Model Y during the quarter that temporarily halted production at 4 of its factories for several weeks. The company said, quote, thank you to all of our customers, employees, suppliers, shareholders, and supporters who helped us achieve these results, unquote. They say the decline is stunning for a company that until recently was reporting year-over-year sales growth between 20 and 100%. Jeez Louise, virtually every quarter, a rate greatly responsible for its lofty stock price. Tesla's first modest drop in quarterly sales only occurred in 2020 during the pandemic when shutdowns hit production and deliveries. Last year, Tesla reported its first annual decline in sales, which accelerated in the first quarter. Plunge was worse than expected by Tesla analysts who had forecasted quarterly sales as low as 350,000 then. Which, yeah, not great news. They're also noting that sales in Europe dropped 49% for Tesla in the first 2 months of the quarter, which not great. They also note that EV sales in Europe across the board are down 28%. Now, the adoption rate for EVs in the US is also declining. Again, people are buying more, but the rate is declining. One of the biggest areas of the automobile industry that you're seeing growth in adoption rate is hybrids, which, again, are not good. And if you have a modicum of intelligence, you do math, you realize, wait a minute, the battery's going to die in about 8 to 10 years and be worth, what, $10, $20, $30, $40,000? Probably not smart to buy, but people are still buying them nevertheless because, a couple more fuel economy per gallon. Again, if you do the math, still not a good investment. Can't beat a Japanese car with a gas engine that lasts, what, a quarter century longer? But that's just me. So Tesla, things are not looking good. You also have interest rates of 7+% when it comes to automobile purchases, and housing. That is turning off a lot of people who would normally buy their cars or rather buy new cars. So there are a couple of variables. I do believe part of it is political animosity by leftists trying to vandalize the company and terrorize it. So we'll see if now that the courts are actually starting to bring justice to the equation, if that lets up Q2 or what looks like in that regard. But yeah, one of the first big declines. Now, granted, there's also the issue of the tariffs. A lot of people are speculating. It seems to change on a daily basis when it comes to the status of the tariffs. But Tesla's made in America is, statistically speaking, the most American vehicle by percentage of parts, which is quite admirable. The tariffs would actually help Tesla out because a lot of the competitors are importing their cars and subcomponents across the globe. So maybe it helps them. Granted, that also being said, Trump has said maybe he'll get rid of the $7,500 tax, not write off, but the tax break you get for buying an EV. So there's so many variables in the automotive community. That's why I'm so skeptical about putting any money and investing in there. Again, not financial advice, but there's so many rules, so many regulations, and shifting consumer demand. Of all the businesses, of all the industries I see right now, I can't but think the one that has the most uncertainty is the automotive industry. So we'll see if their sales, jump up Q2. But let me know, do you think people are not buying? Is it because they may be intimidated by radical leftists? Is it because they just don't like the image of Elon in general? Or do you think maybe it's just because they don't have money to buy a new car? Or why do you think they're going to the competition? Are they finally trying to catch up with the technology? Let me know your thoughts, because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in today. Again, try to get to 5,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so if you can click that button, I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.